Hey, financial advisors, Jacob DeCoke here from Indigo Marketing Agency. So, I'm an account manager here at Indigo, and I wanted to create a video of a case study of a recent LinkedIn campaign that I just ran for one of my clients, and we're still running it. I wanted to give you guys an inside look into some of the metrics that we've seen, how we achieve these metrics, what is the messaging, who we're targeting, really the nitty gritty of how we set everything up. I do want to preface and say that these results are not typical. But this is just an example of some of the results that we have been able to achieve for some of our clients here at Indigo. So, jumping right into it. So, this is a LinkedIn automation campaign. And for those of you that aren't aware, basically, we use a software to create a sequence for connecting with people on LinkedIn. So, basically, we connect with them, send them messages, and hope that we structure the messages in a way that will get them to respond in some sort of positive way to either book a meeting or something along those lines. So I'll go into the details later on, but I first want to start off with some of the results that we've seen. So we've only been running this for, say, 2 or 3 weeks now, and we've seen some very, very strong results so far. So we've seen a 23.4% acceptance rate and a 6.5% reply rate, which is very, very strong. Again, these results are not typical, but this is what you can see when you're kind of when you know that you kind of have a winner on your hands. So, yeah, I wanted to walk you guys through specifically some of the, that's all fine. I think you're probably thinking, okay, 6.5% reply rate, but people could be saying, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. And although we did have a couple of those, I wanted to walk you guys through the specific metrics of like what actually matters, like appointment requests. And please excuse this poorly designed spreadsheet. I just took a minute to write this up for this video. But we actually got 2 appointment requests from this. And they both seem very, very strong. People that seem like they have sufficient assets for the advisor. And then we had, 5 positive replies. So, people saying, hey, I'm not a good candidate for this. I'm not interested in your services, but, I like what you do. And so I'd love to stay connected and potentially refer you business with my friends and family. So, yeah, which has been an awesome thing that I did not expect at all from this campaign, but it's been something that I like to track because it's important to know. So, but this is really the metric that most people look at is, how many appointments are we booking from this? And so it's sitting at a roughly 1% appointment request per, just a 1% appointment requesting rate. And so, for example, if I send, 100 connection requests, and that's literally just me, putting 100 people into the start of the sequence, and I'll walk you guys through later on what that sequence is exactly, then 1 out of every 100 of those people are going to request to book a meeting with interest in potentially collaborating on them giving them working with the advisor. And so again, we got 5 people that are interested. I mean, the client will probably book meetings with these other 5 people as well, but these people just didn't expressly say, hey, I want to work with you and potentially explore your services. These people were just like, hey, I think I like what you do, and so I don't think we'd be a good fit. And some of these people wanted to still book a call anyways, but again, the point is that I'm tracking people who are interested in the services. And so that's where I get that 1%. And another thing that I really like to track is cost per appointment request. And so this is something as advisors, you guys and all marketing professionals love to track is how much am I spending for per lead pretty much, right? And so the only cost to our client besides our retainer is $100 for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And so we've been running this for 2 to 3 weeks. And so that's roughly like, let's just call it 3 appointment requests per month at this rate. And he's spending $100. That's $33.4 per appointment request, which is insanely good. And so, yeah, I'm super pumped for this to continue carrying this out. But yeah, this has just been a killer campaign. That's why I'm showing it to you guys. So again, $33.4 per appointment request per month, which has just been crazy. And these are fairly warm leads. I'll walk you guys through a message here from one of these 2. And so, or I can just walk you guys through both. So, but I'm going to blur out all the information. So I'm going to blur the client's name, and then I'm also going to blur the names and contact information of the 2 leads. So if I find, again, I'm going to blur all this out here for confidentiality reasons, but let me just find it here. All right, and so here's the message for context. Again, I'm going to blur out the names and everything here. I'm going to even blur out all this information. But basically, this person works for a county in somewhere in California. So seems very, very qualified in HR in a county in California. So again, government worker, great, steady job. And this is kind of the message. So I'll blur out the name here. I'll blur out the name here. But yeah, just super, super interested. And like this is just a very warm message. And so just to give you guys more context, it's like these aren't people just saying, "Hey, yeah, I think I want a consultation," and some are like that. But I mean, this is like one of the two people that I counted here, right? So this is a very, very warm message. And so it's like, when somebody's coming on this warm, just from our warming them up from our page, and then they also connected and they saw some of the content that we were posting on this advisor's page as well. I actually checked, and this specific person liked. We connected with them about 2 weeks before they sent this message, and they liked every single one of the advisor's posts on LinkedIn before sending this message. And so we really warmed them up and kind of informed them through this advisor's LinkedIn feed as to what he does, what he represents, and everything like that. So I mean, like, again, super warm lead. Like, this is just phenomenal to see. And then the second one that we counted as one of two just said, "I'm definitely interested in learning more. Can we discuss in early Q2?" So not as warm, but we basically just responded saying, "Hey, I'll send you a calendar link towards the end of March, and we'll go from there." And like, sounds like a plan. So yeah, great. And then again, we got we probably had like 3 other people request appointments, but they weren't as qualified, so I just didn't even include them here. They could turn into things, but I just like to, you know, count requested appointments booked because that's a trackable metric. So, yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so now that you guys have seen some of the content, some of the results that we've seen, I wanted to walk you guys through the specific strategy. So how I decided who we're going after, what we're saying, and kind of our pitch. And so to give you a bit more context, this advisor helps values-driven professionals, and so people who really, really care about their values and who want their values to be reflected in their investments. And so this advisor basically goes through, he'll see your portfolio, he'll say, he has like a quiz that determines your values profile. And so he'll take your values profile, he'll take your portfolio, and he'll analyze the two and say, "Hey, I think you're supporting X, Y, and Z issues that that your values profile says that you don't support. And so I'm going to adjust your portfolio in this way to make sure that it's more aligned with the values that you support." With attempting not to sacrifice returns in that process. So that's kind of his pitch, his value proposition. And so I've decided that working with a client, of course, like I think that, hey, DEI workers would be a great place to start because I think typically people who have a DEI background are typically very values driven and values conscious people. And so yeah, let's start with that. And so this is basically the messaging sequence. "Hey, I noticed your background in DEI. One elevator pitch, one sentence, because this message needs to be short. Love to connect and share some insights on values-based investing." So I always love to kind of preface like, "Hey, if you accept this invite, I'm going to share more information, just so you know. Like, I'm not going to be, I'm not just connecting just to connect. I'm going to share more." And so this kind of sets the expectations, and then after they connect, basically gives people information. "Hey, I bet you didn't know that your investments are probably supporting these issues that I think you probably aren't aligned with." And then basically saying, "Hey, I have a quick tool that shows you exactly what social issues your investments are supporting." Super easy. We haven't seen people actually taking us up on that specific offer, but we found that when people are connecting, they just see what he's about. They see what the client is about, and they're just like, "Hey, I want to learn more." And so, I mean, I think it's just nice to have this, low commitment offer in there. That's kind of what I like about it. And then another one just following up. And then, yeah, I'll show you guys this specific sequence as well that we use. So if I go into campaigns here, we're targeting DEI consultants, by the way. It's not just DEI. So basically, view their profile, wait a day. So we basically just took DEI consultants across America, put them in here. There was just under 1,900 of them. Sends the invite. This is the first message that I showed you guys earlier. Yeah, just information there. They don't accept, waits a day, views their profile, waits another day, likes a post, waits 2 days, views their profile, waits 7 days, and then ends the sequence. If they do accept, it'll wait a day, send them the first message. So that would be message 2 here after they accept. and then waits 2 days, views their profile, 2 hours, likes a post, 5 days, sends them the final message, then ends the sequence. And yeah, that's kind of the yeah, how we set that up logistically. Yeah, we just completely set this up for our client. He basically just said, "Hey, this is." I'm like, "Hey, like, let's do this." I wrote up the sequence, or I wrote up the copy for it. I set up the sequence. He just gave me the go ahead. We set it. We launched it, and then yeah, he's just texting the people on his LinkedIn app and setting up the appointment. So yeah, that's kind of high level. What we did, that's just a quick case study on one of our advisors and some success we've seen. Again, these results are not typical. I think it's a mix of the right audience, the right messaging, and then also he has a really, really good offer that's very appealing to this audience. And so that's kind of where we see that Lollapalooza kind of effect, where we get these really, really good results. But yeah, I think this is kind of my job as a marketer, is to try all these different things and use the kind of library of knowledge that I have from running past campaigns to apply it to um, each individual advisor's situation. So yeah, I hope that you found this useful. If you ever want to set up your own LinkedIn campaign, I'd highly recommend using Dripify. If you are interested in setting up a campaign but you don't want to go through and do it all yourself, we'd be happy to book a call and have a conversation with you about how we might be able to help you with your marketing. And yeah, thanks.